What's going on, guys? It's Cimoooooooo here at YCS London with the lovely, the one, the only
Vladis Baranovskis.
And how did you do with this event?
I unfortunately bubbled YCS London 2019 to make it so I haven't topped every single YCS London I've played in, which is kind of heartbreaking, honestly. But yeah, I chose to play Pure Endymion for this event.
No Striker Salamangreat?
No Striker Salamangreat, thankfully. I bubbled Duelist as well. And before Duelist, I didn't lose round 11 of any event ever. And then now I've bubbled 2 events in a row. I'm just heartbroken.
So I decided to play this deck.
I decided to play this deck because a lot of the people a lot of the tech cards people are playing usually now are based on stopping cards from the graveyard, whether it be Bell, DD Crow, people playing Call by the Grave, etc. And I just wanted to play a deck that was like a combo control deck, more on the combo side for this version, that just put all the resources on the field rather than the graveyard. Like, I didn't want randomly getting like DD Crowed and I'm playing Orcus and just having to pass my turn. I didn't want to randomly go, oh, Harper effect, and they blow on it and then I have to pass my turn. And I just wanted to play a deck that had like a highish ceiling and it could play around most of the cards people were playing, like Super Poly, and just like, basically Super Poly. I just don't like that card very much. So yeah, let's just get into it. So for the monster lineup, I played 3 Big Daddy Endymion, one of the best cards in the deck. I use a scale effect a lot in this deck, it's kind of nice. And being level 7 is quite relevant as well. 3 Servant, everyone knows what this one does, this card's crazy. 3 Magic Servant Endymion. This is honestly the best card, like one of the best cards in the deck. For those that don't know, it's Servant but summons from the extra deck and puts a counter on everything, and it's a high scale instead of a low scale. And then its on-field effect is crazy. So if it declares an attack, it gets a spell counter on it, which is like cute. And if it's destroyed while it's in the monster zone, you can put it in the pendulum zone, and then it has the same amount of counters it had while having the field. But the effect you use it for is that once per your opponent's turn, you can move 3 spell counters from anywhere on the field to summon a monster from your deck that you can put a spell counter on, which is really good in tandem with the 3 copies of Reflection of Endymion I play. This card basically makes it so Magic Servant Endymion is a Kieran on your opponent's turn, because when she's special summoned, you can target a card you control a spell counter and a card your opponent controls and return both to hand, and then she gets a spell counter of the card that was bounced. And also her scale effect is really good. She's just Servant but summons from hand instead, and she's also a low scale. She's just like, this engine was just so strong. It just like meant that you could like beat Colossus or like Sunlight Wolf or whatever just by bouncing their cards, making Boral Sword, and just like attacking for game. These cards are like definitely good. Like, I would definitely never cut any of these. These were so good. And then that's all the Endymion monsters I played. For the Mythical Beast, I played 3 Master Cerberus, 3 Jackal King, 1 Basilisk, 1 Garuda, and 1 Jackal. So everyone knows what a Master Cerberus does, everyone knows what Jackal King does. For those that don't know what these do, Garuda's a Mystical Space Typhoon, but it has a really good in-hand effect, which is when your opponent normally special summons a monster, you can move 3 counters on the field to summon this from the hand and then return that monster back to the hand. So your opponent goes Galatea, you just sneeze on it and then they pass, which is really good. And it's also just an MST going second, which is super relevant. Basilisk in the scale, destroy it, put a spellcaster from your extra deck into the deck and then draw a card. And then its on-field effect is remove 3 spell counters from anywhere to add a Mythical Beast from your scale whenever this gets actioned every time, or from your extra deck back to hand. So it's really, really solid. And then Jackal. So its in-scale effect is pretty irrelevant, it just destroys itself to put a counter on something, but its on-field effect is insane. So it gains a counter every time you activate spells, all the other Mythical Beasts. Summon 1. And you can remove 3 spell counters from the field, tribute this to summon a Mythical Beast monster from your deck. That effect isn't hard to once per turn. So what you can do is you can go like Jackal, summon Jackal King from deck, and then like a scale of Jackal King, destroy it, bring back Jackal, and then use this effect again to summon another Jackal King. So you can just like loop this card like a lot. It's like pretty nice. And that's all the Jackal Kings I played. And then for the spicy deck, the spicy tech I chose for this event was the last monster in my main deck, which is Kaiden Kendo Spirit. So people don't know what this is. It's like a common from Flawed that no one remembers. But basically, it's a scale 9, which is really important because it means you can Pendulum Summon Master Cerberus, which is really good. But you use this card for its scale effect, which is if a monster is Pendulum Summoned, this goes back to your hand. So it might seem like a bit weird at first, but this card's absolutely amazing. It means you can do things like scale Master Cerberus, scale this, Pendulum Summon, this goes back to hand, and then use Master Cerberus's effect. But you can, the other like thing you usually use it for is like You have Servant and this in the scale. This has like a counter. You Pendulum Summon, this goes back to hand. You activate it again, this has another counter. You Electromite pop it, and then that's instantly 3 counters for Servant. Or like any of the Endymion monsters. This card was just insane. And the only reason you play one of this is because you can just search it off Electromite if you haven't Pendulum Summoned yet. Otherwise, you just hard draw into it because you just play a lot of draw spells. This card was just insane. And then for spells, 3 copies of Spicy Rhoda. 3 more copies of Spicy Rhoda. So this card, everyone just read this card. Each time a mythical beast is destroyed, it puts 2 spell counters on itself, and then you can remove any number of spell counters on the field to add a monster from your deck or extra deck with the same level as the counters you removed. This effect's not a hard once per turn, so if you have multiple copies on the field, you can just search 3 times, which is just crazy. And it also has a protection effect where you just like remove a counter from it to prevent from destruction. And then I played 2 of the Magical Citadel and 1 Terraforming. This card's pretty important just for the spell counter like base strategy. Just because it just like lets you resolve Servant without needing to like activate 3 spells while Servant is on the field. You can just cheat it out by using this, or like Magister or Reflection or whatever. Then I played 3 copies of Desires because the card says draw 2 cards, not play 2 cards. 1 Upstart Goblin, 3 more Upstart Goblin, and then 3 Call by the Grave. I just chose to like max out on like all these. I'd play 3 Upstart if I could and just not play this at all. But the ideal hand you want to draw with this deck is like one of the Endymions and just like a bunch of just ways to draw cards, just like the spell cards to do things. And then like you don't really need your Pendulum Summon as well, so it doesn't really matter if you activate these before your Pendulum Summon, after your Pendulum Summon, if you draw them off Electromite or not. It doesn't really matter too much. That's my deck. It was 41 cards because Raphael Nevin told me so. Shout outs to him. Tokens. This is for one day Nibiru me, obviously. Then I played in the extra deck 1 IP Masquerena. This is the best card in the extra deck, not this one. This card lets you do funny things with Absolute Dragon, summoning Vortex on their turn and bouncing something. It's pretty cool. 1 Electromite, obviously, because Pendulum. 1 Nightmare Phoenix. 1 Unicorn, just to summon on your opponent's turn with the Roller Skates Girl. 1 Draco Masters of the Tenyi. This card's just really solid. It's just a generic link 3 to points down. Crazy. Yeah, that's the only reason to use it. Then 1 Avramax because you can make it with Ip and protect Sloth from being attacked over against Orcus, because they can go like Grepher send Grepher send Nightmare, then Nightmare boosts the Grepher up to whatever 25, and then they just attack over Sloth, and that's really lame. So this just prevents that. Did I ever make it? Nope. 1 Borload for against Thunder. Did I ever play it? Nope. Boral Sword. This is to kill them, I guess. Appaloosa. It's good to make with Masquerena because they can't like ogre it or anything. That's kind of cool. It comes up against Striker and like Draco decks a lot. And then I played Absolute Dragon because Reflection and Big Endymion are 7s, kind of a no-brainer. And then I played 5 Super Poly targets. So I played Violet Chimera, Starving Venom, Dracos Lapelia, Triff. This card's actually called Triff, by the way. And then Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon is the 5th Super Poly target, because you can technically Super Poly into this. You can Super Poly into it, then make this, and then use this effect to bring this back. It's kind of funny. Yeah, and that was the extra deck. Side deck. This was built like 2 a.m. on Friday night, because we heard there was 5 spaces left for the YCS. So 3 Pankratops, 2 Nibiru, Sloth, triple Super Poly, Dark Roller no more. The 2 Elves are because of siding patterns. 1 Secret Village, and then 3 Red Reboot. I don't think I'd add anything to the side deck. I don't feel like I was missing anything. I was going back and forth between this and Denko Sekka for a while, but I just decided on this because I forgot why. Oh, them preemptively flipping floodgates, I guess. I like anti-spell or whatever. So yeah, that was my deck.
Shoutouts?
Shoutouts to Jonas Koschel for helping me with the deck. Same thing with Typhon Bractor. Shoutouts to my team, Team Mambo. We're a meme page that just happens to have a team. Shoutouts to all my friends back at home. Shoutouts to everyone who lent me cards, Billy, Cormac, Icham. Shoutouts to Furman for giving me these crisp American cards. And yeah, that's basically it.
Thanks so much, Vlad. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I love you all.